Okay, well, looks like we have to do this a different way today. I already have 2 likes on here, so that's a good thing. Let's get into it. I actually was not planning on doing this at all, but it is what it is. All right, hold on. All right, perfecto. So, I'm happy this morning regardless. Hold on, let me cover some things up. Because I didn't even make up my damn bed. I'm happy today, regardless of how this damn computer is doing me. I'm not sure why it would be doing me like that, but it's all to the good. Do you understand? Yeah. All right, let's get into it. I don't want to take too much time. I don't want to take too much time doing this. I just want to wait for a couple of people to join me. Hi, Dana. Thank you for joining. Okay, Shantina, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. Hello there. Hello there, dears. Hi, well, hello, dear. Well, how are you, dear? So here's what happened, guys. I didn't make up my bed today, and I wasn't planning on streaming like this, so excuse me. I don't know how many people are live with me because my phone is staying on 0. I see 0 people and 0 likes. I don't know who's on here, but I'm just going to start reading. So my babe thinks that we're streaming on a different, I don't know what's going on with this. I'm so very confused. I'm gonna have to open that back up. All right, guys. Hi, my mod is here. Now I can talk. Woo! Woo! Child, I was feeling like I couldn't even speak. All right. So one day, I had a troll come onto the line, and I said I was doing some testing, and I said I'm just testing. Oh, I know why I can't stream. My connection is poor, and I do apologize for that. But child, it turns out that the girl, she said, I would love if you would say my name. I'm a big fan of yours. She said, well, just turn the phone down and just be in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But she said, I would love if you say my name. I'm such a big fan of yours. I've been watching you read for such a long time. I love when you read. Will you please say my name? She said, my name is Jenny Tools. I said, okay. She was the only person on the line with me. I said, hey, Jenny Tools. She said, ha ha, you just said genitals, bitch. You got trolled. Are you serious? Is that what we doing with our damn lives? Like, this what we finna do? Anyways, it was a hot mess, but it was funny. Oh, my numbers just popped in. It was a hot mess and it was funny, so I thought that I would run that past ya. Anyways, let's get into the reading. Lord, today was a mess trying to get to this reading, okay? Please do start the video out with a like. This video, I tried to do it with my OBS studio, but I don't have enough connection to do it. My connection is poor, so I couldn't stream with OBS studio, so we have to read like this with my bed not made up, and I truly apologize. I ain't even did nothing to my head. I ain't even brushed my damn wig out this morning. So I truly apologize. So the last time we left off, Carlita was talking about other women and how he was experimenting with whatever came his way. She said she walked into the kitchen of her mom's home and caught her brother and Craig talking about her with her mom, and they was just dragging her name through the mud. My family had let me down once again, but nothing like what was to come. I walked up to Craig and I said to him, look, do you think it's been roses being married to your ass? Well, it's not. And another thing, do you think I don't know about what you do when you claim you're out golfing? Well, guess what? I'm not at home twisting and turning, waiting for your black ass to come home. Believe, my needs are met as well, player. After saying a few more choice words to him and my mom, I got my boys and I left. I don't know if there was much more I could have said without crying, which was something they were not going to see me do. Me and the boys stayed in a hotel that night and left early the next morning, heading to the farm. I pretty much stayed to myself that summer. We didn't see Craig for a few weeks. Yay. And when we did, He came with some lame conversation about how he loved his family and wanted to show me he could and would do better. Can I say broken record? The same old, same old. Empty promises. At this point, I knew I was only there for the money. There was no love and no respect. Me and my boys had a pretty good summer. My boys, my nephew, and my little brother took part in a summer league basketball event that the Chicago Bulls put together. It was always good watching them all have fun. We did the theme parks, water parks, and the zoo. I even took the boys to California for vacation that year. Even Craig came home. It was almost time for the season to start. Did I want to do this again? Not really. We were about 7 years into this marriage, but I'm not sure if it was the mother in me or not having my dad around. I didn't want them to be cheated. Talking about the children. They deserved to be there to see them games, to share every moment of life with their dad. And as much as I had put up with, I wasn't going anywhere as bad as I wanted to. But they say you get what you ask for. This was my last season with Craig before all hell had broken out. I was doing me. And for some strange reason, he was trying to act tough, act as though he wanted to work on our marriage. We had nothing left. There was no more trips to take and no romantic movies. He had made my skin crawl. I felt this way for time. I felt this way for some time, for years. He had cheated far too many times, and so I had cheated on him. I don't know who he thought he was. I felt if you can do it, so can I. Although I was far better at it than him. I had become involved with my mentor early on when I found out that Craig had been unfaithful to me. And then there was the Robert ordeal. She's talking about R. Kelly. He was coming home after the trade to Chicago. The season was okay. I had gone to as many games as I did in the past. I felt burnt out from him and the women being disrespectful. It all came down to me teaching my husband how to cheat and not get caught. For me, the marriage was about my children, money, and nothing else. I had reached a new low. I'm not sure if you can be a gold digger after being married for so many years, but for me, it didn't matter. I had been called worse. As the days went by, things got bad in our home. What did it for me, as they say, the straw broke the camel's back, was when he came to my best friend, Arlene. He put her in such a bad position. He came on to her. He put her in such a bad position that the comfort level in our friendship was almost lost. To do this to my dear friend was awful. From what I could tell, she told me everything he said to her. He was trying to find out what type of gifts to buy me. My thoughts were, why would you ask her? We live in the same house, and you should know my wants. But no, not Mr. Hodges. He wanted to call my friend and talk dirty to her and see if he could get in her pants. So the gloves came off, and I let him have it. He had no idea what he was in for. I started dating as though I had no husband, and he slept in the guest room. When I went out to the parties, I came in when I wanted to. I remember staying out all night one night after I found out about what he said to my friend. Of course, he denied it, but there was no getting out of it. See, when you know your man, you know what he would say and not say. When she told me the things that he said, he had said them to me before, exactly in that order. So let me tell you guys, when I went to the Savage's house, when Tim had flirted with Cash, Joycelyn was upset at some of the things that were said, although she claimed that she knew. She was upset at some of the things Tim had said to Cash because she felt like that's something he would say. So this happens in a lot of relationships, not just with, certain one. Believe me, baby, if it ever happened to you, you not alone, okay? With me hanging out, Craig stated putting recorders on the phone. I'm not doing this wrong. I want y'all to know it says Craig stated, not stayed. I just want y'all to know. With me hanging out, Craig stated putting recorders on the phone. So I just want y'all to know, because y'all be talking about I can't read, and I can't be having that. It's not me. It be the books. Okay? With me hanging out, Craig stayed putting recorders on the phone. He wanted to tape every minute I was on the phone. I gave guys my home phone number and I entertained them as though he wasn't home. I was single in my head. I found out that he had put a recorder on the phone, and trust me, I did nothing about it. I played with it all. I wanted him to hear everything I had to say. I had nothing to hide from him. My thought was, you want it, you got it. This went on for a few months. When it was getting cold out, we had our last altercation in our home. It got heated. Sonora, mention me in the VIP Teahive. But you on the line. What you saying? Are you telling me something about the live? See, that's why y'all gotta... Oh, Toxic is live. Okay. This went on for a few months. When it was getting cold out, we had our last altercation in our home. It got heated, and he was in my face talking crazy. I was in the bathroom when he came in and wouldn't let me out. I scratched my way out of the tiny space. All I wanted was for him to leave and leave me alone. I asked him to leave. I didn't know what he would do. Would he hold me down? I didn't fear him. I just didn't want him touching me. At this point, we were in the living room of our home. I grabbed his trophy, threw it at him, and screamed to the top of my lungs, "Get out! I hate you!" There were tears rolling down my face. He was so mad at me because I had filed for divorce, and he got served at practice. When I did it, he thought it was a game. He was trying to do the same thing to me. He was listening to a few of the guys on his team and came and told me, "Little sucker." So I beat him to it. And he left that night. I was emotional, an emotional wreck. Although I was happy he left. It had been some time since he had left, and I was happy. When he'd been to court, we had been to court a few times. A visitation was put in place for him and the boys. I never wanted the boys to not be around their dad, so they saw him every other weekend. Whenever he wanted them was fine with me, as long as he gave me some notice. The boys still went to the Bulls game with him sometimes. I would drop them off and didn't want them to miss a beat. We got along so much better. At least I thought we were anyway. And y'all know, as she's saying they getting along better, y'all know she set his ass on fire. And that was the beginning of the book. Thank you, Extreme Diva. Mwah. As time went by, Craig was always on time picking up the boys. From time to time, he wanted to talk about us. That was only when no one else was around. When other people were around, he acted cold. For me, it was a waste of time. I was off, and I could not be turned back for any reason. I laughed at him most of the time because he gave it away and gave it way too much energy. I would never trust him with my heart again. The boys were good, but that's all that mattered. I didn't know what was next for my life, but a job or school was on the menu for sure. I hadn't done either in a very long time. Although I was up for it, I decided to leave for a short trip, a getaway to Dallas. All right, guys, that was chapter 9. We're moving on to chapter 10. Y'all already know it. Hey, I'm reading this motherfucking book. You already know it. Hey, y'all know, y'all gonna listen. I already know it. Hey, thank you guys for joining me so much. It's all 16 of y'all for joining me on the line. Lord, that's a low-ass number, but I'm very happy for an intimate audience, and it don't make me read, not now, one bit less. Okay. All right, let's get into it. I was scheduled to leave town to visit a friend in Dallas for the weekend and didn't think it was going to be a problem. It was Craig's weekend to have the boys, so I called him to ask if he would pick them up from school instead of meeting me at my house after the boys were out of school, which is what he did when it was his weekend. He was to meet me at the house after school and take them with him. I asked him to grab them from school instead. It just made sense. I let him know I was leaving town and my flight was leaving at noon and that the boys got out at 2:30. He seemed cool enough. He agreed and didn't let me know it was a problem, nor did I foresee one. Thank you, Sonora Landry, for that $10 donation. My contribution towards the challenge. Hey, now, it was $1 a day challenge. It was $1 a day. Hook it up with a buck. Hey, hook it up with a buck. Yeah, it was $1 challenge for everybody who listens to the read to donate $1. That was the challenge. Thank you, Sonora, so much for donating, not only for you, but for some of the people who cannot donate. Thank you so much, Sonora. I appreciate it. From what I was told, he hung up the phone, called his lawyer, and told them I had abandoned my children. He told them that I had left town and was not coming back. There was an emergency hearing called, and he was awarded custody of my sons. Lord, are you serious? So this man got off the phone with her, told her, okay, I'll pick the boys up from school. Then had the nerve to hang up the phone, call a damn lawyer and some damn people to damn get her children taken away from her, saying that she abandoned the kids because she had left at noon on an airplane. Now see, that's why you record conversations. That's the reason to record. He was recording you. You should have been recording him. That's all I'm gonna say about that. He told them that I had left town and was not coming back. There was an emergency hearing called, and he was awarded custody of my sons. Now, throughout the weekend, I had called to check on the boys, and he let me speak with them. Never once did he mention what he had done to me. So on Sunday evening, when I called him to let him know I was on my way to pick up the boys, he said, okay, and just laughed. I didn't get it, and I really didn't think much of it. When I arrived at his place, a police car was there. Again, I didn't think much of it. I walked to the door and got a knot in my stomach because the officers were walking towards me. I thought, what happened now? And the time I spoke with him on the phone. What happened between now and the time I spoke with him on the phone is what she means. The officer asked if I was Carlitas Hodges, and I replied, yes. He gave me some papers and told me I had to get off the property. Huh? I replied, I'm picking up my children, sir. The officer said, you abandoned your children, ma'am. What? I said, I did not. Read the papers. And if you don't leave, you're going to jail. By this time, Craig was at the door just looking with this grin on his face. With that look, I knew he was up to no good. It was just a look I will never forget in all of my days on earth. He loved seeing me like this. I lost it. I wanted my boys and I couldn't stop crying. The officer walked me to my car. One started to console me and wanted to know just what was going on. We talked and he told me to call my lawyer the next morning to work things out. I went home and couldn't sleep at all. I wanted the daylight to come quickly. I read the papers and couldn't understand how this could have happened to me. From the looks of it, my lawyer was in court when all this took place, and they knew it was his weekend to keep the boys. The only thing I could think they didn't fight for me. They knew me. They never in a million years would think that I would abandon my children. When I got home that night, not only did I lose my children, but someone had been in my home. They took 2 of the 3 fur coats I had owned. The only reason they didn't get the 3rd one is because I was wearing it. All of my jewelry was gone, and the household items, TVs, and clothes were gone as well. I had been robbed. There wasn't a break-in, so whoever did this knew me and had a way into my home. I thought it was Craig since he had done it before. He came in and he came in to cut up my lingerie and left it on the bed. For the life of me, I didn't know how he got into my home the few times he came in. I remember he once told me he could have taken my life several times with a pillow. He said he watched me sleep and could tell how many breaths I took per minute. All I was thinking was, damn, I got a gun to protect myself. This thing between he and I had gotten bad. So morning came and I was at the lawyer's office when they opened. I asked, what the hell happened here? My lawyer seemed a little irritated with me. All I know is somebody better start talking, I said. I didn't give a damn about her being irritated. Why were my boys given to this man, and why was there an emergency hearing? Thank you, Serenity 499. Good morning message. Thank you so much. Well, she said, we called you Friday afternoon and you never called back. We didn't know what to do. So when we got word that you had left and abandoned the children, we had no idea what was going on. Really now? I must have turned 10 shades of red at this point. I said, you dumbass bitch. You have an itinerary of me traveling. I asked you if it was cool for me to go out of town. She said, woman. I added, bitch. I asked you if it was cool for me to go out of town and you said yes. I wanted you to go and turn this around. I want you to go in and turn this around. They couldn't, she said, and explained some bullshit to me about us playing with the court system. Look, lady, I said, it is because he has the most money. We can't go back and turn it around right away. How can he just say I've abandoned my boys when it was his weekend? Aside from that, he said he would be picking them up with no problem. This is just wrong, just wrong. What am I supposed to do? He can't parent the boys with his schedule. What's going to happen if he's out of town? When I'm their mother, I want my boys and I want them now. Fix it, goddammit. Fix this. I was crying. I hated this. I didn't see I didn't see an end anytime soon. The team of lawyers was looking crazy at this point because they had not looked at the itinerary that they asked me to send them. I wanted to kick someone's ass. They owed me. So they talked about a game plan to right this wrong. They had me wait around and got in touch with Craig's lawyer. They were playing hardball, of course. When I left their office that day, I had no more information than when I got there. I went back home and sank into a deep depression. I couldn't see my boys. I had no rights to them at all. What I had done to lose my boys to this lying-ass man. What had I done to lose my boys to this lying-ass man? He had sunk to a new low, and I had a newfound hate for this bastard. I sat in my room for hours and hours. When I made dinner, I made plates for them as well without thinking. It had not set in that they were not coming home. I had no idea what to do. Why would he do this to me? I guess it's what they say, all is fair in love and war. Well, not for me. This was going to be fixed and quickly too. I sat at my... this was going to be quick and quickly too. This was going to be fixed quickly and quickly too by my attorneys. At least that's what I thought. I took some time to make this right. I learned that he was bringing his sister out to help with my boys. I had a problem with that because she had no children and had no clue how to raise two boys. Besides that, I had done nothing wrong not to be in my boy's life. The days seemed longer and I was sinking deeper and deeper into my depression. I also found myself losing weight. I couldn't eat nor sleep. I wanted this to be over, but I had to get some medical help. It felt like the walls in my home were closing in on me. My doctor put me on Xanax and Valium. Don't ask me why I didn't take the Xanax. Probably because I had no idea what it was. I was familiar with what they did with the Valium, and I wanted to sleep until the day came when my lawyer said my babies were coming home. That didn't happen. There were a few times when Craig would let the boys call me. It was so hard for me to hear their voices. I yearned for my sons. I cried day and night. I had never been away from the boys more than 7 days, and that was only because their father had gone on a 7-day cruise early on. I had no idea how to do this. So now it's early November and Craig calls and lets me take the boys for a few hours. I think he did it because there was no one to watch them. I was excited and I took them bowling. I got them back in time because I wanted to see more of them. I felt like he was testing me. I wanted to run when I had them. I knew his ass knew that I would be a better parent. I knew that his ass knew that I would be a better parent. Well, I didn't get to see them anymore after that. I hadn't done anything wrong. I made it a point to get them back on time. He would only let me call them from time to time, or let them call from time to time. He was playing hardball. He wasn't playing fair. I slept most days, and when I was awake, I would sit in the den in front of the TV most nights, wrapped in a blanket. I didn't eat much because nothing mattered. I wanted to die most days. I didn't see any light. The days were long, and the nights felt longer. Aww. One day I woke up and had taken all I could take. I knew there wasn't a home game, and since Craig was a creature of habit, I knew the game plan. He would leave at 5 p.m. and the boys would go with him to the game, and then he would be coming on the Edens Expressway. About 5:20 p.m., the expressway would be getting crowded, so I decided to sit on the shoulder of the freeway and wait. And wait I did. I can say for sure that I have lost my mind. I saw the top of his car coming. Girl, not the top. Girl, she said, I saw the top of his car coming, girl. I saw the top of his car coming. As soon as he passed me, I swung my truck behind his car and laid on the horn. My boys turned around and saw me. Of course, they were scared. I saw it in their faces. I didn't care. I needed to touch them, smell them. I missed them very much, and I didn't care about anything else. I needed to see them. As much as I blew the horn, I waved, and so did they. The tears were crawling. Craig pulled off the expressway, so I followed. He pulled over, and I pulled behind him. His sister was with him. She said to him, "You may have to call the police, Craig." I told her to shut the hell up, and then I turned to him and said, "I need to see the boys now. I have nothing to lose right now. Let me see them. I need this for me." Tears were falling down my face. He let the boys get out of the car. They were so happy to see me. We hugged, and it felt right. They got back in the car and he started in on me. If you do it again, I'm calling the police, he said. You know what? This is the true fucking essence of a fuck boy. Craig Hodges, you are a fuck boy. First of all, for you to want to take those kids away from their fucking mama, what did you think that would do? And this is the lady that was at the damn hospital with these boys when your ass wasn't even around. And y'all know that I don't have my kids with me right now. Even though I have access to my kids, I would just choke him right now. Like, I would choke the fuck out of Craig Hodges. Y'all already, the VIPT know what I have been through. So, Craig Hodges, R. Kelly, Demetrius Smith, I got knuckle sandwiches for you, my nigga. Okay, with the chips on the side and the sodas. All right? Anyway, you may have to wait. If you do it again, I'm calling the police. I was thinking, knock the hell out of him and deal with not ever seeing the boys again, or turn around and get in your vehicle and drive away. So I said, look, let me tell you this one thing. You better get your ass in your car. At this point, I have nothing to lose. It would be in your better judgment not to threaten me. Not today, not ever again. I promise you one thing, Craig Hodges. If I go to jail, I promise you it'll be for a real reason. And I promise you I won't be getting out and you'll be going in a hole. Now go tell the police that and make sure you tell him that I didn't threaten you. I'm making sure that you know this is a promise on my life and my boys. Damn, Carlita, you scaring me. You had better leave me the hell alone, she said. I turned, got back in my truck and left. I drove home feeling a little better. I needed him to know that enough was enough and that I was not playing. By no means did I have the upper hand, and I still needed to be careful if I was going to work on getting my boys back. I got home, and for the first time in a long time, I got some sleep. I called my lawyer the next morning. I needed them to grant me some visitation. They owed me this for the whole mess I was in. I didn't have a problem letting them know this. They gave me the runaround a little, but I let them know I meant business. I also let them know what I had done the day before, and of course, they scheduled for me to come in and have a sit down with them. When I got there, all three of them were there trying to scold me. I said, looking out of the window, to this day, I can't tell you what they said. When one male lawyer, an arrogant son of a bitch, said if I do anything else, they would drop me, I heard that loud and clear. I said, do it. I'm cool with that. You got to say it like Kim Bella. Do it then. Well, do it then. I'm cool with that, I said loud and clear. If you had paid any attention in the first damn place, I wouldn't even be in this predicament. The woman who was a partner saw where this was going and stopped it. She said, oh, okay, Miss Hodges, we're going to court in a few weeks and I need you to act like Mother Teresa. Yeah, okay, I said, whatever it takes. Well, a few weeks turned into a few months. Craig was always out of town and his lawyers kept postponing the hearing. Thanksgiving came and went. I slipped back into a deep depression and just slept. The calls from my boys were few. Christmas was coming and I still didn't have a real date from the lawyer about visitation. Well, it happened again. Craig called and said the boys missed me and wanted to see me. He brought them over again. He didn't have anyone to watch them once again. We hung out and enjoyed each other. My oldest son let me know he was going to be in a Christmas play and that he wanted me to attend. Now, I don't understand how Craig is comfortable just changing these boys' lives like this. But I will say that it probably was a financial bearing that made him figure like, okay, she's not in the position that I'm in financially, so I can take better care of them. And I'm sure that the court saw that and was like, okay, grant him custody of those kids. But I think it's wrong what he did. I don't think you snatch no mother from their parent. You know, you have these people are trying to dictate our lives. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's Caucasian people. I don't know why you guys have this dictatorship ass mentality going on with you guys. But the other day, Rihanna spoke out about the anti-abortion law in Alabama. With that law, it states that any woman who attempts to get an abortion or any doctor that performs an abortion, they can face up to life in prison for performing an abortion. And when Rihanna spoke about it, Governor Kay Ivey said that she was so happy and that all lives meant something to her. If it means something to you, why is it that y'all then turn around and then take these kids from their parents, thus affecting their lives negatively? And that goes for some of them, I'm going to put, because some of them don't, their parents got to go. Okay, all the drugs and the beatings and the burning with the damn ashes and all that shit. We not doing that. But I'm talking about the ones that actually care about their kids and actually really want their children. You know, here it is, you're snatching them away, and it's all them just controlling what we do. And it's sad because they still find ways to enslave people. That is modern day slavery. Okay, you don't just do shit like that. By the way, they still have slaves in Syria right now. These people are using children as a means to make money and keep their government with money coming in. That is it. And they don't care about them kids in the way that them kids feel when they doing this at all. Believe. I thought I was okay. I thought, okay, I'll see what I can do. That night, I got back home on time. I got back to my home on time. Craig picked the boys up, and I felt hopeful once again. I called a lawyer the next day to see if I could get some type of permission to go for the Christmas play. They worked on it, and I got permission to attend the Christmas play. I had to direct all my contact through Craig, so I informed Craig, and he said he would let me know. It was now December, and I was fed up with this process. It was taking too long, and I wanted my boys home with me. Craig had allowed me to see the boys one other time since November, and I didn't see them for Thanksgiving. When I called to find out the information about the Christmas play, he put me off and would tell me he would get back to me on it. I had been in contact with my attorney, and they had nothing new to tell me. At this point, I had no more visits with my boys, and I was taking volume every day because it helped me to stop thinking. They also helped me to sleep, which is what I wanted more and more. I would call for the boys, but no one would let me talk to them. Jamal has left his foot brace at my home. Not on purpose, but it was something he needed. His father didn't seem to think so, even though I left several messages for him to pick up. I stopped calling and just slept. My family was concerned about me now because they had been calling and I wouldn't answer the phone. I only wanted my boys. One day, my sister Linda came up from Milwaukee to visit. I was surprised to see her. She told me that they had all been calling me and they were all worried about me. The truth is, they had good reason to be. We sat and talked. I didn't feel any better. I didn't know why. I wanted her to leave. I wanted to be left alone in the bed. I can't say she didn't understand because she too had been abused. Not really knowing what to say was different for her. She saw was a hot mess. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Let me go check. So let me tell you guys. Yesterday, Taylor got off the leash or got out the yard and ran around the city. So now I just have to make sure that her ass is staying on this leash because she has to be more controlled now since she's trying to do her own thing. I need to let her know that no, you're not doing your own thing. You're doing what I said to do. Period. So excuse me, I had to check on my own. You know what I'm saying? My little daughter. All right. She literally popped my gate open yesterday and just left. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Anyways, not really knowing what to say was different for her. She saw it was a hot mess, and not one time did she ask what I was going to do. It started to snow. I had no idea. When all that snow came, I was inside minding my own business. She wanted a ride to the station in Skokie, and I was happy to take her. Linda was really easy to get along with, but I just didn't want to be bothered. She was being very careful with me. I watched her being careful, so I tried to snap out of the funk I was in. I was holding back tears. I just didn't know how she would receive me at this point. I always felt I had to be strong for her, but it was her who was now being strong for me. I didn't tell her what I was going through completely because I didn't want the pity. I saw someone to talk to, just not her. Oh shit, I think she got off the leash. Oh no, no, no. Maybe that's the guy across the street. See, I keep thinking that because I keep hearing this sound. Yeah, that's him across the street. Okay. Yeah, girl dogs are divas. My boy dog was nothing like that. I'm so mad. He got his neck snapped by a pit bull, but my boy dog, he was nothing like that. He was really just into me and just wanted to be up under me. And when he wasn't up under me, you know, he was out being a good puppy. Her ass is a hot mess. Okay. All right. I didn't tell her what was going on, what I was going through completely because I didn't want the pity. I wanted someone to talk to, just not her. We got ready to leave and I found out we were snowed in. I tried to drive her over the snow and the car got stuck. I grabbed a shovel and a few bricks. Nothing was working. So I had to get the snowblower out and it was empty and the gas can was way too heavy to pick up and pour. So I went inside, found a jar, washed it out, went back to the garage, tilted the gas can, filled the jar with gas, and poured it into the snowblower. We did that a few times and it scattered the snow. I started to enjoy the silliness we shared with each other. We always seemed to laugh no matter what. I forgot for a moment that I was sad, and for a moment it felt nice. We made a path to the car to get out, so I just threw everything in the backseat of the car and took off down the road. I got my sister to the bus station and I started to feel bad that she was leaving. On the ride back home, I thought about my boys and what they were doing. I wanted to drive by their home, but I chickened out and I just drove home. I pulled my car into the garage and I started to cry. I didn't think a person could have so much water in them. I cried every day. On some days, I cried for hours. Most nights felt like they would never end. I felt like I was lying in for months. I would look at the clock, it would be 1 a.m. I would look again, it would be 1:15. How could this be? It felt like time stood still on most nights. Well, Linda was gone, but thinking was back. I was happy that she stopped by. All right, that was chapter 10. Let's get on into chapter 11. It was early Monday morning. I had such a hard time sleeping. I found that I had such a hard time sleeping on Monday morning that I found myself staring at the ceiling for hours. Half the time I wondered if I'd been asleep or not. My mind was always all over the place and my thoughts were full of what ifs and whys. All I wanted was for my boys to be home with me, and that's really all I could think of every day and night. The holidays were nearing, and God knows that I had no idea how I was going to get through that without them. The days seemed long and the nights seemed longer. Life was wearing thin on me, and the depression was winning. Although my sister visited me Sunday, I was so unhappy that I didn't care to see her or anyone for that matter. I wanted my boys, and that's all I wanted in my life. The boys at home with me. As the sun was coming up, I rolled over and tried to fall back asleep. I thought about taking a Valium, but I couldn't seem to move. Again, my thoughts were racing in my head. If only there was a cutoff switch, I could have beat the thoughts from coming in. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, it was to a ringing phone. All right, I'm going to stop there. Whew, we read past a lot of chapters today. Okay, so first and foremost, let me say this. This book is a good book. I'm glad that she didn't put too much emphasis on the R. Kelly thing. I don't know if she's going to get homeless in this book and ask him for the help. We're only at 66%. So it seems that she will fall on hard times and call on R. Kelly, which she said she did a couple of times, and he refused to help her. So I believe that that's what's coming up in the rest of the book. But y'all, I am so upset for Carlita. I am pissed off and I am mad. Because I know bitches like Craig Hodges. And I know bitches that do shit that just vindictive like that for no good reason. And it really makes me upset that she had to go through that trying to help these people. I'm telling you, and I keep telling people this, if you don't let go when God tells you to let go, you're going to fuck around and have a baby by that man. Listen to what I'm telling you. I say this to you guys all the time, and I'm constantly saying this on my live. If you don't let go, when God tells you to let go, you're going to fuck around and have a baby by that person. Okay? And it's not going to be good. I remember this lady, she was at my church. She was so classy. All the dudes in the church wanted to get with her. She was so classy. Everybody loved this girl. This one man, one light-skinned, high yellow ass man. that my mom used to flirt with came to the church one day. One day he came to the church. Okay? The next thing you know, this woman was pregnant. Every other time we saw him was when he came to church to pick up his daughter. On God. Like, don't send yourself through that. I'm just saying. It's just not worth it. Okay? Anyways. Am I dreaming? I thought. I turned over and grabbed the phone. The next morning, I got a phone call from my son, Jabril. He was upset. He didn't say hello. He started out by saying, Mom, you promised you would come see me perform in my play. I was surprised, so I said, Hi, sweetie. What are you talking about? I am coming. Your dad said it's next week, and he's going to get all the details to me about where it's going to be. No, Mommy, it was last night, and you were supposed to be there, he said. There's a knot in my stomach, and I'm feeling like a complete fool. I trusted this jackass once again, and now I'm looking crazy. I said to Jabril, Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you would be having your play last night, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. So will you let me speak to your dad? Craig got on the phone, and I didn't play around. You were supposed to call me and let me know the right day. I went through all the channels of getting permission to go so I could be there. I forgot to call you back, Lita. He said. Well, did you go? I asked him. Yeah, he replied. So how is it that you forgot to call me to tell me it was last night? The date you gave me was for next week. The only way for me to know is through you. So you gave me the wrong information on purpose? Well, I forgot. Damn, what you want me to do, Lita? I wanted you to tell me the judge. I wanted you to tell me like the judge told you to do. And now you're making it look as though I didn't want to be there for my boys. What's that about? Look, Craig, what more do you want? You have the boys already and you lied to get them. How much more? In the background, I hear him say something to someone who walks in the area where he is and his tone changes. Fuck you, bitch. I didn't have to tell you shit. That's why I didn't. I'm shocked at this point and hang up the phone. Crying wasn't easy for me at this point. Anything that dealt with the boys would make me cry at the drop of a hat. The phone rang and I picked it up. Craig was apologizing to me. Look, Lita, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a bitch. I forgot I gave you the wrong dates. That's why I didn't call. I was silent while he spoke. Are you done? I said. Did the boys hear you call me a bitch? He said, no, I'm in my room. So you're saying to me someone walked in the room and you got cocky. He said one of his cousins walked in the room. I don't really care who walked in the room. I don't care who walked in. Don't call me anything but my name, I said to him, changing the conversation. When can I see the boys? I have to explain to them why I wasn't there. Can I speak to them, please? Someone walked in the room again and Craig spoke to them again. When he started to talk to me again, he got crazy all over again. Hell no. And I'm glad your ass didn't come last night. Go to court if you want to see him. Oh, wow, I said. What is this? Act a fool and show off day when someone walks in the room? Well, fuck you, you fucking jerk, creepy ass. Who the hell you think you are, you sorry ass bastard? He hung up the phone on me. I called back. He just picked up the phone and hung up a few times. By now, I was out of the bed and walking around. Oh, my, child. My, child. What a hot damn mess, child. And I mean a hot one. Okay? By now, I was out of the bed and walking around in my pajamas. I was so pissed that I was ready to pull my hair out of my head. At about 10 minutes, and my phone rings again. It was Craig apologizing again. Fuck you, Craig. Straight up, fuck you. I hung up. A few minutes later passed, and the phone rang again. I answered it. It was Jabril this time. He asked me if they could come by and pick up Jamal's brace for his foot. No, Jabril, I said, no. Your dad cannot come by here, not at all, baby. I wanted to talk about his play, so I said, how did you do last night? I wish I could have been there. Next time I won't miss it, I promise. My son was a sweetheart. He told me he would be in a play for next year and would be singing for me. He would be in a play next year and would be singing for me. I didn't want him to hear me crying. He melted my heart. It felt good to hear that he wasn't upset with me anymore. I told him he needed to get ready for school and to let me speak to his brother. In the midst of him yelling for his brother to come to his phone, Craig got back on the phone and he said he wanted to stop by and pick up Jamal's brace. I said, if you come by, I need to call the police first and they need to give it to you, Craig. I don't trust you to come to my house. You keep playing these games and it always seems to fall on me. Good job, Carlita. He agreed, so we hung up. I called the Northbrook police station and they were not at all helpful. They told me they had better things to do than come and babysit Craig and hung up on me. What I tell y'all about these crooked ass police? Y'all thought it was a game and I was playing? No, they want you to get into... Stop calling the fucking police. They want you to get killed so that they're not going to do anything about what it is you're calling for. They want your ass to die. They want your ass to get beat up so that they can finish doing their job. Okay? Stop calling the police. Period. I called Craig and told him not to come, so he asked if I would bring the brace to the school. I agreed. Uh-oh. I hope this is the story, because I happen to know that Carlitas set that man on fire in front of them kids' school. She tried to, at least. I agreed, and then I asked if I could speak with Jamal. He wouldn't let me. He tried to talk crazy to me. Someone walked in the room again. God damn it, Craig. I hung up. I got excited because I was going to see my boys. I quickly jumped in the shower and threw some clothes on. I grabbed the brace and a coat and headed out. We got to the boys' school, and at the same time, I was tickled to see them, and they knew it. It was hard on me not being able to see them every day, and I'm sure it was tough on them as well. I walked to the passenger side to help the boys get out of the car. All I wanted was hugs and kisses. I needed to see their faces. Now this went from bad to worse in no time flat. I got there, saw my boys. I was emotional. My feelings were all over the place. He had his cousins with him and shit just went all bad. I remember walking to the car and hugging my boys. When they got out of the car, there were some choice words said between me and their father. Craig got out of the car with his aggression, which I found funny because he only acted that way when someone was around. His cousin was in the front seat with him. Somehow, Craig and I had got back to my car. We talked, and he asked when I was going to be taking the rental car back. He also mentioned that he wanted the money I had taken out of the bank. He was a little pissed about having to pay for my truck and being fixed and the money I had. I didn't answer. I gave him the brace. He said something to me about having the rental car I was driving, and it struck a nerve in me. Before I knew it, we were arguing back and forth with each other. He was pissed with me about the rental car I was driving, and he told me I needed to take the rental car back because he was sick of having to pay for it. One word led to another. My boys were in fear because I went from 0 to 100 in 60 seconds flat. I walked away as my boys walked towards the door of the school. Craig approached the rental car and kept arguing. We went back and forth and he shoved me, which caused my face to hit the door and my lips started to bleed. I saw nothing after that. I went blank. The rage that came over me from that moment was unexplainable. All I knew is that I was fed up with him and all the bullshit that I had been going through. I looked down and saw a brick at the back seat of the floor of the car. As I reached down, he ran, so I grabbed it and threw it at him. It missed him, but not by much. I threw a small shovel. It missed him as much. At this point, I had hate in my heart and my eyes, and all I wanted to do was kick his ass. Okay, I was trying to hear something. Oh my damn, y'all. Oh my damn. It's going down in the downtown. I looked back again and saw a jar, so I grabbed it. In a slight moment, I saw my boys standing in front of the school. Someone had their arms around them, and I couldn't help myself. I remember feeling like a part of me was running towards my boys to hold them and say it's going to be okay, and the other part of me was saying, get that asshole. He's put you through too much. Get him. Well, that person won the fight in me. I threw the glass jar, which had a few drops of gasoline in it. When I dropped the bottle, it was not to set him on fire. I wanted something else to throw. I had forgotten there was gasoline in the bottle. I threw the bottle at him because I wanted to hit him with it. It was maybe a tablespoon left in the bottle. So when it hit the ground and I smelled gasoline, that's when I remember it had gasoline in it. I went to the car to leave and I saw a book of matches. I didn't think. I grabbed the matches and lit one, dropped the first one, lit another one, and tossed it in his direction, knowing it would never reach him. I hated him so much, all I wanted was for him to feel some pain. I had no idea, he had no idea, the pain he caused me from all the lying he had done. After the second match, I went to his automobile, grabbed the keys, and threw the keys in the snow so he wouldn't be able to find them. At least at this point, all I felt was that I had lost it again. I hated myself as I jumped back in my car. I decided to take the rental car back and pick up my truck. As I was driving, I pulled over to the side of the road. I couldn't see the road because of all of the tears. I had a busted lip, which I didn't care about. I cared that I had lost my head in front of my boys in my school, and it was my fault that I allowed him to take my power away. I gave Craig something else to hold over my head to keep the boys away from me. By the time I got to the car dealership, my car was ready, so I dropped the rental car off next door. I got my truck and headed home. By the time I made it home to get to the house, the doorbell rang. It was the cops telling me that they had a complaint about everything that happened at the school. Shit, girl. Shit. Oh, man, girl. My God. My Goddy God. Goddy God. Now, that is just a doozy. And it's really, really bad. Only because right there, she reminds me of Tommy Lee. It's like, look, Eva, she doing wrong or she doing wronger. You know, that doesn't leave you a clear space to get your kids back. And so, you know, it happens. The book is very interesting, definitely. I feel bad for Carlita, too. It's just crazy. Yes, Serenity, I know what you're talking about as far as like the most hurt feeling in the world when it comes to your children. It's very hard. Yeah, very, very difficult. Puddin', did you see the tutorial, small excerpt that I did, the tutorial example that I did yesterday on the channel? I checked some VIP Teahive emails as well. Make sure you guys check those emails. Oh, you have a beagle? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out why she's so, like, she's a sweetheart, though. I do know that. I don't want her to get mean to me. So I'm trying to avoid that. I don't want to beat her. I don't want to whoop her. I don't want to do none of that. All right, talk to me. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, baby. That was so off key. And plus, was that R. Kelly I was singing? Child, let me switch people. Somebody sleeping in her bed. So again, I made agreements with Carlita to take her book down after I finished reading it. I'm almost finished, so if you haven't seen the other chapters, please make sure you search Carlita's Way. Just type in Carlita's Way, Toxic Diamond, and they all should pop up. Start from number 1, go up. When I get to the end of this book, I'm going to delete the first video. The next day, I'm deleting the second video. The next day, I'm deleting the third video. You understand what I'm saying? So this is not going to be a book that's going to stay on the internet. This is coming down. I want you guys to go to Amazon.com and purchase this book. If you don't have it, or if you just want to read along for the next couple of minutes, or next couple of chapters. We are at 69% on the book. One of the mods, can one of my mods please throw up the website and phone number? If you wish to join the VIP Teahive, we love having conversations about the book and about everything else. Phone number is 818-858-0852. Website is TOXSDIAMOND.com. Also, guys, I want to put you guys up on some gang. Hey, gang. Woo. Okay. Really quickly in here, I've updated the website, so now you guys have the videos, 90 Day Fiancés and all of that. So if you guys take a really quick look, so you'll see, let me let my computer pop in. Let me see. Let me let it pop in. There we go. Wait. Okay. If you let it pop in, you see here, you see the tabs here. Let me see. You see the tabs here. You see where it says Tox Live. You can hit that tab, Tox Live. Is it doing it? I might not have any internet. Anyways, here, wait, oops. Let me see. Let me just make sure it goes to it. Okay, perfect. Now, on Tox Live, you can see, you see this video here? This is going to be videos of me live. Whenever I go live, the live pops up here, okay? And all of these lives are from TOXOT Live. These are all shows that come from TOXOT Live. So anything I do on the TOXOT Live channel will end up here, okay? And of course, you have all these stories, comments, social media, all that there. So I'm just letting you guys know anything that I've done has ended up on the Tox Live channel. And that channel is specifically for my talk show, which I'm trying to get back rebooted, but I need money for it. So I'm hoping that you guys will go subscribe to TOXOT Live. So one of the mods, please throw up the TOXOT Live channel, how to spell it. Website is toxot.com. But y'all, I'm liking this book. I think that this book is dope as fuck. I'm feeling it. First 5 readings should be available on the website under the book club tab. I do have to add these 2, but then they'll start gradually getting deleted for sure. All right, guys, that was a great read. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you join my social media. And I am sorry for the glitches that happened in the system before I came live in this manner. All right.